The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Fellas, let's get into this fight that happened Saturday night. We all came for Devin Haney versus our guy Ryan Garcia. And Ryan Garcia got the upset, the majority decision win. I don't think anybody expected this, but I was excited to watch the fight, man. And it's Ryan Garcia out of the gate. Landed that big left hook in the first round at Rock Haney. Round two, Haney settled back in, was able to do what he did and, work the jab some. But in round three, I think it was Haney in round three that actually stunned Garcia, but I may be mistaken. But round four was that cool-off round. And then round five, Haney settled back in and was working the jab. And then round six, that was a big one. Ryan Garcia showed glimpses all throughout that round and landed that big shot. I think this was the round where he should have got him out of there. And that would have been a TikTok moment, but he didn't really put his foot on the gas like I think he should have. But then when you go to round seven, Garcia dropped Haney with that left hook, but got that point taken away for punching on the break. I thought that was a weird moment in the fight when he was punching on the break. I'll get your thoughts on that, Chris, a little bit later. And then just skipping to round 10, Haney got dropped with a left hook in the corner and then got stunned with another one later on in that round. And then in round 11, Garcia dropped Haney again. And every time Haney got dropped, he just didn't look good. He looked like he was just like a newborn cat, like on his skates. And like it was weird to see. He just didn't react well. And it was a closer fight because of the fight that he wasn't getting knocked down. Haney was doing well. One judge had it as a tie because it was a majority decision. So we didn't expect this out of Garcia, but he was able to shock the world. And I'll let you start this one off, Chris. Like, what do you think about this fight?
Confidence. These guys fought, I think, multiple times as an amateur. So this is not his first time actually seeing them. They sparred each other as well. So they've been in the ring with some time together. I think Garcia won some as a kid too in those amateur fights. So he's seen beating him before. Know how to feel to beat him. Know how even though they're younger, just had the ability to fight against him. You remember those times. And Garcia, shout out to him. Could be the boy that cried wolf, showing us all this Instagram stuff. But at the same time, he looked stronger the whole fight. He looked strong. He looked comfortable in there. He only has a few tricks on. He has two really good hands. Two moves we would say that he uses, and it was effective, both of them. His straight right, and his hook were there the whole time for him. Haney had no questions, no answers for it. He looked smaller. He looked like he didn't really want to be in there. Even if they got close up, like Garcia could push him off. Garcia just looked bigger and stronger. He just looks bigger.
Steve?
Yeah. He got in there and got it done. Not only the first knockdown, not only every time he got knocked down, I saw that. Like I said, I know boxing just to know to my knowledge. It seems like every time he tried to react to getting knocked down or to his punches, it seemed like not only his legs, but his accuracy wasn't there to counter. I thought he was trying to throw that overhand right to counter. I'm like, damn, that was nowhere. That was like to his damn chest. And obviously, I think it was to his head. And I think his equilibrium was off ever since then. And I think, to me, I was egging for Devin Haney to most likely win. But, like, Garcia, as a boxer, was watching it. I just started to become neutral and then started kind of rooting for him. I felt like the ref at the time, maybe I was wrong, was kind of helping him at the time. I was like, man, let him get that knockdown. I don't know if y'all felt that way. They kept calling it a slip.
Yeah, that was weird. I thought it was a knockdown. He kept calling it slip.
think it happened like more than one time.
Yeah, it happened multiple times. And he was like hugging him. Like, I thought he was just using him like to not be called a knockdown. They just kept calling a slip because he was getting hit. And then he was like grabbing on him, looked like he was trying to hold himself up. Haney was trying to hold himself up with Garcia. It was weird.
So just like the regardless of his message, he made a big big explosion for his name. And just like Space Jam and all of them, the talent winning the basketball, except the talent, he took his mojo, man. He took his fame from him that yesterday. So I believe that happened. So I think Garcia regained his loss with Gervonta and put his stardom back into the stardom pool of the boxers.
Yeah.
So go ahead,
Garcia,
Chris.
Garcia was looking like almost the gatekeeper.
Mm.
Almost the guy that you was like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like he was becoming on that B level fighter. Not saying that, you gotta think he's back in the B plus. Definitely pulled up the upset. Great for him. I know he's on like cloud nine. Can't almost believe in himself in a sense, even though he can't believe because he jumped in that ring to do that. But yeah, I think this is what he needed. Garcia needed this because he was. But
Does how he won? Do you think him missing weight affect the 3.5 pounds, or do people are going to shrug that to the side?
Yeah, I think you can shrug that to the side. It's a big deal as a professional to always make your fight. But I think when you're going into this and you're the underdog, you need to take every advantage you can. And you know what? Maybe not tricking your mind. You know what? I'm not gonna go crazy trying to make this weight. I'm just gonna go as low as I can. If I make it, I make it. I don't. I'm gonna make this bet, whatever it is. I'm coming here to fight. And then the confidence you come from there, you still got to fight, right? You still sign a contract. There's a way you can still back out. I don't know how they could have at that weight, or I think Garcia had own like maybe a quarter, a million and some change, I think. But whatever that bet was, but still the mental is just like I'm coming here, I'm going as strong as I can, I'm doing what I can do, and whatever. I'm here, I'm ready to fight. Mm-hmm. That don't have nothing to do with it because, to be honest with you, I like Haney losing. Haney losing because it showed us a lot about him. He got knocked down so many times, he got back up. He kept fighting the whole night, and to come out of it, it wasn't like he got mobbed. There's still a chance for him to still win this fight. You know what I'm saying?
One judge thought it was a tie. Like I said,
it was close. So the rematch is going to be entertaining. And if Haney can win that one, then we're definitely going to get a 3. You know what I'm saying? So.
But like you just talked about it just now, Chris. But you said Garcia just looked the bigger fight. Don't you think that 3.5 pounds played into that and looked like the bigger fighter?
The 3.5 pounds, he just looked bigger, period. Like when I saw Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather for the first time, Mayweather looked bigger than Pacquiao. Like it didn't even matter. The time they got close, he just pushed him off like it was nothing. It's almost like the Crawford versus Spence. This Crawford just looked like he could take his punches. Even though Spence imaginally seemed like he would have been a bigger fighter, it didn't look like that in the ring. And that's what we saw there. Like it looks can be deceiving. That pound and a half, whatever. But Garcia, stance wise, strength wise, pushing them off, taking the punches when they got close, really wasn't holding, could push them off with his gloves. That showed a lot. And like you said, once he got hit in the head, it didn't seem like he was all there anyway. He was a little lobby. He didn't have his legs to hold him to fight. So we'll see. I think he showed a lot of ability as a fighter, as a warrior, to keep fighting. Because when you never touch the floor and you've been talking all that shit to somebody and you finally touch the floor for the first time in your fight that you ever fought on a national television stage against a guy that you thought you could beat, it wakes you up. So now I'm judging you to see, all right, how you going to react to this? Are you going to give up? Are you going to fold? Who are you really as a fighter? And we got to see really good glance of him as a fighter. like a lot of people give AB a little hard time, but that fight that he did against what is it, Madonna? I thought that showed a lot of warrior in him because he could have gave up, but he kept getting up, still was fighting his, still was in there throwing punches, was getting knocked down. And I like to see that from these fighters, even if they're losing, keep going forward. He still had a chance to win, so I think the rematch is gonna be good.
You think a lot of times that the fighters, like you said, AB and now Haney, the reason that they get up is not for themselves, really, is because they don't want it to be a clip on IG or on TikTok or something. It's more so they don't want to be embarrassed.
No, that could be the point, but at the same time, they're warriors. I mean, we gotta respect that. There's a lot of people that get hit like that. They don't get back up, or they don't want to. You'd be like, damn, he could have got up. He probably took that knee. I'm gonna stay down here. Oh, that shit hurt. Devin Haney was hurt yesterday. Clearly didn't want to be in there. Clearly hated the whole moment. There's a time when you're in there and you're like, I can't win. It doesn't matter. I can't win. And you're still trying to keep the game plan going, and the rounds keep going. You're losing. You're getting hit. You're getting clipped. You're getting hit to the floor. It's just not going at night. But this to go through the night as a professional and keep fighting, and not throwing the towel on your own, or even your corner believed in you to keep going. So tap their hat out to their camp. They believed in them.
Yeah. So like you said, you think it's probably gonna be a rematch with this? You think they may do a best of 3?
I think if Haney can pull this one off, I think he has to be more tech. I think he has to outbox Garcia. But if he gets hit with that right hand, because Haney can get touched. It's not like Haney can't get touched. We've seen him get touched. We've seen him get punched. He can take punches, and clearly got knocked to the floor, but he got to be able to take on that power. I think he is fighting. It just looked like Garcia was bigger in his stance. He just looked like he had a long frame, even though it's not. That's not the case. I think Garcia probably got like an inch over him in height, but he just seemed bigger. He seemed stronger. And I don't think that 1.5 inch, pound, is really the case of his success. I think he just felt more comfortable in it.
So the pre-fight answers from Garcia, he was drinking wine, talking about child predators and stuff. So y'all think he was playing possum with the public? And then his performance was like, psych, I got y'all. Y'all thought I was crazy, but I was really locked in. Y'all think he was playing possum with the public?
No, I think he was doing a little bit of both. I think he was locked in, and those situations was really taking place in his life. And now that we got these phones, you can give people real life, content, what's going on in your everyday life. I mean, this is the new world that we live in. Before, we want to see camps like this or see what's really going inside. We just see clips on what's going on the Showtime or HBO series and things of that nature. But now that everybody got their own phone, got their own pretty much media camp, you could just turn on your phone and boom, we're live to your day-to-day life and what's really going on with you. So I think they can both go on. I think he has his camp to keep him locked in on what we're here to do. And then, he has his own personal thing going on in life. So it's just like all of us. We go to work, we do what we got to do at work, and then we all have our own personal thing, our own personal life outside of work as well. So pretty much what we saw.
Steve, what do you think about Garcia's pre-fight antics and how it played into this fight?
Yeah, for what it's worth, I can say he used both, because at the end of the day, you can say anything out there, but I guess awareness for what he's saying, care for the children, I'm down for that. Anybody else you can say anything and probably a less of a message, we're entertained, but for at least a message, I guess that's a good one. And I think, like I said, doing that, whether people thought he was crazy or not, it's rare where you can tell the truth. And if people don't believe you or not, that's free promo right there. And then on top of that win, we'll see forward to see how outside events that aren't involved with boxing or possibly involved in the future, see how things go down. And then if so, oh my gosh, look at his stock go up. He might be strategic, just telling the truth in his heart and strategically, it's just going to be work out just by maybe some of these things may be true.
For sure. Well, he impressed me last night, and they have a lot of talent in that 140 division, and I think we're going to see them progress, and I think we're going to see this group of kids, I don't want to call them kids, they're men now, but progress to that 146 division, 147 division, and we're going to see them, they probably end up 154, and Ryan Garcia, like you said, people saw him as like the B- after his last fight against Tank, but he put his name right back up there. So he might get that Tank rematch. We might see him mix it up with Teofimo, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. Definitely a big win for Garcia.
Because if I'm not mistaken, he was winning that Tank fight until he got knocked out, right? He was up on the cards on the Tank fight.
I got to go back and watch that.
Yeah, he was up on the cards.
So many fights in between. Like, it's hard to remember. You might be right, though. I'd have to go back and watch that. But talented kid, he just got to keep his head on straight and don't worry about what people on social media think. Just do you, and the results will come. Just keep putting that hard work on. Thank you for checking out this Haymaker Combat Sports segment. This full episode can be found on the Haymaker Combat Sports YouTube page and in audio form on all major podcast platforms. Until next time, peace.